Welcome back to the Nico Flo Show. Today I'm talking to an insanely talented young actress and director. She's already led several productions, cast plays, and built a pretty stacked acting resume all before turning 18. If you, whoa, if
Oh
you've
my
ever
gosh.
wondered what it's like to lead a show, deal with rejections, direct plays at a young age, and know what it's like to chase acting at a really young age, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Welcome to the show, Gabbi Burgos.
Thank you, Nico. So excited to be here.
Yes, awesome, amazing. Okay, before we really get into it, I'm starting a new segment on this show where the guest and myself bring a drink, and then we will like say what we got, I guess. So I got the grande iced peppermint white mocha from Starbucks. Gabby, what'd you get?
I got the grande vanilla latte. Hot. It's great.
Why'd you get that?
This is my go-to. It's my go-to.
But like, why
And
is it hot?
because it's cold outside.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the summer I get the cold. Yeah, I get the cold one.
Oh, wow. First question, because I kind of know this, but I also really don't, and the people don't know this. Talk to me about your start in acting. Like, how did you get into theater? Why did you get into theater?
Um so I started in like middle school, and I started because my brother was very active in it. He kind of just did it for fun. And I mean, so did I
Mm,
in the beginning. So I started in middle school and it was kind of unserious. But then I went into high school and it was a lot different from like middle school theater and high school theater. And so then in high school, I did all the plays, the musicals. And then kind of in like my senior year, not senior year, my sophomore year, I started to become more serious with it. And
mm,
so, yeah, that was kind of like, I guess my start was just doing like middle school plays. I've never really done stuff outside of school yet.
mm.
I've done some, but not like productions outside of school yet. Um, but yeah, so my start was definitely just doing high school plays and getting a lot of experience through that.
No, that's sorry. Okay, that's good. Um, so you've done a lot of plays, but from what we've talked about, you want to go more into film than stage acting. Talk to me about that. Why film?
I want to do film because I really like my work to be permanent, and
Mm,
I feel like I obviously love theater too, and it's not something that I would just throw away if I just fully went into film acting. I would
yeah.
definitely want to do both of them, but I really wanna do film because it's, like, a very permanent thing and things that people can go back on and look
Mm,
on and kind of build a legacy from that and having something that can always be looked back on, and also I really love, like, camera work,
mm,
and I really enjoy, like, getting close up in the face because
sure,
I think, like, a lot of acting is obviously, like, within, like, your mind and stuff.
sure.
So, through doing, like, film, you're able to really see that once, like, a camera gets close to your face, and I also just really wanna work in, like, a studio and have, like, a ton of cameras, a huge team, like, that's
Mm,
just, like, a big dream.
yeah. I was That's actually a very interesting answer because personally, I have the same like goals, but like different reasons, I think. Because my biggest reason has always been, as much as we hate it, like stage theater is dying a little bit, and film is growing like
Mhm,
super fast. So most of the like household names that you hear of, they come from film. And even that's not even like to say like, oh, I want to be famous, but to say like, oh, for people to see my skill, or for people to like see like my true,
mhm,
talent, and like for me to reach the most people through my work, I feel like the best way to do that is film.
mhm. Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
but no, I would never. I don't think I could ever like fully drop theater
I
because
think
it's
also
too.
because theater is kind of like um the basis of a lot of acting.
Yeah.
Just like people say that with Shakespeare, like Shakespeare is the foundation of all acting. And I remember someone told me that you have to learn how to be a theater actor before you learn how to be a film actor.
Hmm.
And I agree with that because like it's two very different things and two very different techniques. Um
What's so different?
I think obviously what's different is in theater you're able to be very outwardly expressive and you're able to do that on film too, but there's a lot of like kind of restrictions because there's a camera in front of you or um and then in film you have to redo takes many times.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to make sure that you keep that same emotion because you need to do them the exact same way.
Yeah.
Um and I also think it's just very different because both are obviously have to be very real performances, but I feel like is like film is very like real and it's supposed to be do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like you're not really watching like characters, if
Right.
that makes sense.
That's the goal at
That's the
least.
goal. Yeah.
And I think the interesting thing about that though is theater. Personally, I think it's easier to be like okay and like decent at theater than it is to be decent at like TV. Because if you think about it, like it's really easy to tell when someone is on a film and they just like it just feels weird. Like they feel cringy or they feel unnatural or like
Mhm.
you're just not blown away by them. But it's you don't see that as much in theater, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Like in
Mhm.
theater, it just feels a little easier to be natural at it.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
it's very difficult to be like really good at
Mhm.
to be blow people away on stage. Now let's get a little deeper.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
give me your highest high in theater, like your biggest like confidence booster. Your I'm on top of the world. What's been your biggest one over your career?
I would probably say when I got Grace in Radium Girls because I think it wasn't just necessarily that moment. It was kind of what led up to it.
Yeah.
Because like before that, I did my summer intensive at UNCSA, and like I guess that was also another high.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I got to experience with a lot of professional actors and a lot of like very talented people who were like actively in the field. And so then getting Grace felt like such a big accomplishment because it was like all my work had paid off.
What for the people that don't know, Grace?
So basically, um, our fall play that we just did was Radium Girls, and Grace Fryer is the lead, and it's the story of the Radium Girls who worked in the who worked in the radium factory in the 1920s, and they had to lick paintbrushes. They had to lick paintbrushes to paint like dials for people in the fields, and then it ended up that the paint was radioactive, so it was like it gave them a ton of like medical issues, but then the company tried to cover it up. So it's a very deep story, and getting Grace, like I was able to put like so much into the character because she had so much depth to
Mm-hmm.
her.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a very big high.
Yeah. A lot of emotion in that.
Mhm.
Um, talk about UNCSA. How did you get into that, or like how did you get to do that summer intensive?
So in my junior year, I was talking to my brother, who's also who's also an aspiring actor, and I was telling him how I'm getting very serious about this, and we were talking about college, and he was telling me that I should do an intensive, and I was a bit scared because I'm like I have a lot of social anxiety, so it was very like okay, that's a bit scary. Um, but then I was like, I might as well put myself out there. So I was talking to him about some, and then he gave me the idea of UNCSA, and I didn't know what that was. It's University of North Carolina School of the Arts. I didn't know what that was. So then I asked my acting coach about it, and she said it was a good one. So then we filmed like a pre-screen.
Mm.
Um, and then I ended up getting accepted into it, and I was so excited. So then the intensive was for 3 weeks in the summer, and So just the experience through that, it was very different from anything I've ever done because it was so many different people coming from so many
Mhm.
different places, different experiences, and you were working with all those people.
Was it
And
was it like what type of things were you learning? Like was it more monologue stuff or like scene stuff?
it was like everything.
Mhm.
We had a movement class, we had a text analysis class, Shakespeare, on camera class. We had a monologue class. And so you were just learning all the aspects of acting within those
Mhm.
3 weeks. And so it was very intensive. Um because they were kind of cramming in like most of their curriculum into those 3 weeks. So,
How much would you recommend that to people?
I would definitely say if you have the opportunity, go because they had a lot of um they had a lot of resources that you could use. They had workshops at the end of the day, like at 9 p.m. that you could go to. Um, and so I would definitely recommend it because they were very easy to talk to, the professors and all like there were students there too. They were very easy to talk to and they gave very good advice. Like I went to this monologue class with one of the students there and it was my monologue completely changed. It was
Mhm.
very, very good.
Mhm.
So just the experience through that and then also learning from other people and
Mhm.
being able to see how other people work was it was a very great experience.
Yeah. And I think you could even go a step further of saying like doing if you want to do theater like for real and you want to do like you want to go past just high school theater because high school theater, let's be honest, like it's easy. Like in the sense of
Yeah,
almost everyone's in.
it's a small pool.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on where you go, it's pretty small pool. Um, but if you want to like branch out and go past that, then I think UNCSA is an amazing one. There are tons of summer intensives that are really good. I would say in general, if you don't do a summer intensive at like a school, do a community theater show. Something over the summer, I think, is very, very
Yeah. It's
impactful.
definitely something that I wish I did earlier.
Yeah, same.
Um, because I know a lot of people have done like summer intensives like 2 summers in a row. And
Mm,
I wish I'd done that because then you could experience with different places.
mm,
So if you're even thinking about it just a little bit, I'd say go for it because there were people at UNCSA who weren't even sure if they were going to pursue acting, but they were very
mm.
passionate about it. So I'd say if you have even like the smallest inkling, you should go for it because then that'll help you decide.
No, for sure. And then also from my personal experience, like I think for me, I was what? Before summer of senior year, I was like kind of sure I wanted to do theater, I think, but like I don't think I was like fully like 100%. But I was pretty sure that I wanted to
Mm,
do it. And then over my summer, instead of doing summer intensive at like a college, because I didn't like know about it, so I didn't audition. Um, but I did like a community theater show. Um, and that was my first musical, and that was like really my like, okay, yeah, this was a ton of fun. I have skill with this. I'm confident in what I'm doing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing
yeah.
this. You know what I mean? So I think moments like that are really important.
Mhm.
Um, okay, you said highest high,
Yeah.
lowest low.
Mm. Lowest low was definitely just like the middle of high school theater when I just it felt like I was going backwards because I started high school getting a pretty good role. My first show ever in high school, I got we did Murder on the Orient Express, and I got like a pretty big role for a freshman, and I was only one of 2 freshmen in the cast. So I felt like off the bat, I was like, "Okay, I got this. This is easy." But then after that, it started like I started not getting roles that I wanted. I started getting like very small roles, which it's not a bad thing, but when you're in that position, it feels awful.
Yeah,
And so then I got like a 5-line role, and then I got like a very small role, and so it just kind of kept in that cycle, and I felt like I was going backwards,
yeah.
and so I didn't really know like what to do, and it just that was definitely the low because that was a lot of self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like a lot of people experience that.
For sure.
But looking back on it now, I see that that was probably the best thing that could have happened. Because
Mm.
if you're continuously getting good roles all the time and you're not getting any rejection, you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna have that moment where you're like, "Okay, I do need to continue growing." And I think that moment hit me last year when we did Pride and
Mm.
Prejudice and I didn't get the role that I wanted. I was like, "Okay, I need to, like, lock in," basically. I was
Yeah.
like, "I need to figure out how I can be better." So then that's when I found my acting coach, and then I started focusing fully on that and just growing my craft and not focusing on, like, the role exactly, like, not
Yeah.
setting my goal and like, "Okay, I'm gonna get this role because I want this role. I
Right.
want, like, this lead." I was just focusing on my craft, and then whatever I got from that was, like, the reward. And
Sick.
that's
Yeah.
why Grace was a high, because
Mm.
with all of that work, I got I got something that I did genuinely want, and because I put the work in.
Yeah. It was like fire.
Yeah.
Like it burns a fire under
Mhm.
you. I think that's something that like every actor goes through.
Yeah.
I think, and it or even just like every human,
Yeah.
to be honest. But you just have to like you have to let it fire you and not just like demolish you.
Mhm. And, like, that's something that I know is gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
Like, that's never gonna stop.
Does that scare you?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, because it's like going into this field, you need to know, like, there's gonna be so much rejection, and so you
Mm,
need to kind of brace yourself for that. And I'm not fully, like, I'm not ready for that,
for
but it's gonna
sure.
happen, and so you need to know, like, it's gonna happen, and you need to have thick skin, but, like, whatever it is, it's God's plan, and whatever's at the end, like, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Talk a little more about rejection. And do you have any mindset of like of now, like now when you don't get what you want, what goes through your mind? And because I think the first thing that goes through every actor's mind is always like, oh shoot, it's like it's like oh shoot, um, I'm not good enough.
Mhm.
I wasn't the best at the role. I need to get better. Whatever. What goes through your mind? How do you make it healthy? Because I think most people, it's really unhealthy. You know, the
Yeah.
first things that come to your mind.
Well, I'm still, like, trying to figure that out,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think I think a big part of it kind of my mindset kinda changed, and this I don't know if this is gonna sound bad, but it kind of changed when I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, when I got Grace, and it was kind of like, "Okay, people are seeing my efforts," then that was kind of like it proved that I am improving.
Yeah.
And so I guess now I kind of deal with rejection because I mean, I have, like, already gotten some. I kinda deal with it in a way that, like I said, God's plan, everything is
Hmm.
works happens for a reason, and I know that's true because, like, I've already seen that happen in my past. Like, I've seen stuff happen, and then now I'm like, "That was the best thing that could have happened."
Yeah.
So I kind of think of it now like everything happens for a reason, and it's gonna be okay because there's gonna be so many other opportunities. And so I think that's the healthiest way you can put it, and not base everything, not put your whole, like, identity into one,
Mm,
like, getting these yeses, because that's a bad thing. You have to put your identity in, like, you have to base it in the fact that, first of all, you need to have confidence in yourself, not cockiness, but you need to have confidence that you're improving, and you need to give credit to yourself for, like, the successes that you have had.
mhm,
And so you
mhm.
need to be like, "Okay, I didn't get this, but I have gotten this, which means that I am improving. Let's just keep getting better."
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's a very positive mindset that you can have, and just kind of take that as, "Okay, let's keep getting better."
yeah. And I think that's really important.
Mhm.
Is like yes, failures become really hard when you know you're not improving.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not putting the work in, then failures suck because you're like, oh shoot, I suck and I'm not getting any better. But like, if you know you're getting better and you know you're good enough,
Mhm.
then failures become like, oh, this sucks. It's almost more of like a I deserved better than it is like I suck.
Yeah.
And I'd rather feel like, oh, I was good enough for the role. I deserve this role,
Mhm.
and then I didn't get it. I'd rather feel that than being like, dang, I'm kind of like bad at this,
Mhm.
like this thing. Um, have you felt burnout in theater? And that can come because I think that can partially come from like I keep not getting what I want,
Mm.
and then you're like, there's a moment where you're like,
I think yes, but also, I mean, I haven't been super intense with theater or acting yet,
mhm,
so I don't really know like what a crazy burnout feels like. Um, but I guess yeah, not continuously not getting what I want. It's like, what else can I do? I have felt that,
mm,
but I also I'm so passionate about it that I'm willing to keep like fighting for it. But I think another burnout that I felt was actually recently when I was doing my pre-screens
mm,
and I spent all of Thanksgiving break just filming them every single day and it was so tiring. Like it got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I guess that
yeah,
was like the most like genuine burnout I've had. But then once I actually got in and did my monologues and kept finding new things, then I was like, okay, no, this isn't bad.
yeah,
Like it was like, no, I love this. Like
yes, yeah,
It
that's the
wasn't
thing.
something like, "Oh, I hate doing this. I can't ever do this again." No, it was like, I just wanna I remember my brother said this too. I just wanna get past, like, the auditioning stage and actually start, like, working.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's very yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's most actors like you love it. You don't love it for the auditioning part. Like you love
Yeah.
it for the actual
Yeah.
performing,
So I know that
rehearsing.
once I get through this, then I'm gonna get to, like, actually working on everything.
Yeah. And something that you said, I think the real difference when it comes to burnout and like what you um what like you can you can kind of differentiate yourself if like this is for you is what goes through your mind when you feel burnout. Because like for me, when I'm at school and I feel burnout, like school burnout is like, dude, I'm so tired of doing work. I'm ready to get out of here. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
You know? Theater burnout is like, dude, I'm at rehearsal 6 hours a day. This is exhausting. I just want to go home and sleep. But I know, like, if I had the chance, I would do the same thing tomorrow. I don't
Mhm.
care if I have a way out. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna keep doing this because I love it. Like
Yeah.
when I'm in it, I love it.
But yeah, if you're feeling like I just want this show to be over, I want like these classes to be over, then that's kind of when you're like have to think, okay, should I is this something that I want to do with the rest of my life? Because if
Mhm.
you're feeling this like say in high school theater, in college and out in the world is much different. It's so much more intense. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's something like
it's not gonna stop.
mhm,
Like your
it's just
your
going to get more.
crazy right. Your crazy rehearsals that you think are like impossible now, they're just gonna get worse, and
Mhm.
you're probably gonna get worse roles with them. Like
Mhm.
it's easy to when you're like the lead in a show, it's a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, like this is great, 6 hours a day. I'm
Yeah.
on stage 24/7. This feels great. It's a lot harder when you have to be at those 6 hour rehearsals a day and you're not on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Say that. Haven't I haven't really like had a role like that.
Mhm.
Have you?
Yes. Yeah, I've had rehearsals where I've literally sat in the house and done nothing.
Yeah.
And but one thing that has come with that is also like building the community in
True.
theater. And so you're with your friends, but as for like doing stuff actually, it does like feel kind of awful because you're like
Mhm.
not doing anything. But so yeah, I've felt that a lot and it does suck, but that doesn't like hold me back from wanting to do this in the future. Like I know that if I'm in college in a big production and I'm just in the ensemble, I'm still gonna love doing it. And I'm still
Why?
gonna I say because first of all, when I'm in college, I'm also gonna be taking classes that's helping me continue to grow. And also it's still experience. And also it's a bigger pool of people. So I feel like if I get like an ensemble role in a college production or even like a big community theater production in college, that's a big accomplishment because that's like you kind of made it in a big pool in a
Yeah.
way. You know what I mean?
What
Like I'm
about
not.
it's like high school?
What do you
Sorry,
mean?
it's separate. Like I'm saying, like, what's your mindset if you get an ensemble role in high school and you're like, dang, you know?
Like it sucks. Yeah. I don't really know. I It kind of does feel like why am I here?
Mm,
So yeah, I haven't. Yeah, it kind of just sucks.
yeah, that's that's a very
And
scary thing, I
yeah.
think, because yeah, last spring I was supposed to do Joseph. Basically, I was most likely gonna be ensemble or like kind of featured ensemble because I would have been one of the 12 brothers that they're in the show a lot, but they're ensemble. And I then had this decision because I was at the same time I was also like the captain of the volleyball team. Be at the same time I would have had to miss 3 months of volleyball season, like it would have been crazy. So I ended up like not doing that show. Um, but I think going through your mind the whole time is like, if I'm ensemble in this show and I'm not like understudying, like I basically there's the growth that would have come from me doing that show would have been like dance experience for sure, that
Mhm.
and like singing experience for sure. But like aside from that, I would only like get so much out of it. So it was like kind of a moment of like, am I gonna do this show that I'm gonna spend months like working my butt off for that I don't feel like is really gonna produce a lot for me, you know?
Mm.
And that's the scary thing. Now, mind you, I 1,000% would have done the show if I wasn't like the captain of the volleyball team. And,
Mhm.
like if I didn't have somewhere else to go be, I 100% would have done the show because it would have made me a better dancer,
Mhm.
actor, whatever. But I think that's kind of like the fear that goes through your mind of, as an actor is like, we all have lives outside of acting, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like when you get this ensemble role or you feel as though you might get this ensemble role, then you're like, shoot,
Yeah.
you know?
I think you said something about like it wouldn't produce anything for yourself.
Mm,
I think also a big part of acting is working with your cast and working alongside people. So you're not only trying to get something for yourself, you're
mm,
trying to like help make something so great with other people. So
for sure.
you're helping like your cast and the crew and everything to build this great production. So I think that's a good mindset to have if you're continuously like maybe getting ensemble roles and you feel like I shouldn't even be here. No, you should because you're helping build the amazing production. Even if you have one line, even if you just like do a spin, you're still helping build this great production and you're part of the you bring the show together no matter
Yeah,
what the role is. Every
no,
role
for
does.
sure.
And so I think that's a good mindset to have and that's definitely something that I need to work on.
For sure.
Um
No, I'm not saying for
but
sure to you. I'm saying like for sure I need to
yeah,
work
for
on it
sure.
too.
No, yeah. But um yes, definitely that's kind of I think the mindset that
Hmm.
should be had.
Yeah, because I'll even say you've probably seen this, like just going to see shows, right, or being like a part of any show. You can see this. There are people. I have a specific person in mind who she is like such an incredibly talented actress. She's not an incredibly talented actress. Her like what I see most in her is like her dancing ability, and she consistently gets these ensemble roles. And I'm a part of me is questioning like, wait, this girl, she has an amazing voice. She's an amazing dancer. I think she's an amazing actor. I haven't really seen her act. I'm like, she should be getting these bigger roles. And then I'm like, well, shoot, if she wasn't that ensemble role in like these two roles, no, three roles that I'm particularly thinking of, if she wasn't like this featured ensemble role or she has this little dance, whatever, like if she wasn't there and someone else was that like couldn't do it the way she did it, the show would just be like so much different
Mhm.
because it's great to have like great leads. You
Mhm.
know, great leads are obviously kind of needed because you see a show with great ensemble and a bad lead, you're like, "Eh." But a show with great leads and an awful ensemble, or like people who aren't holding the ensemble to a
Mhm.
standard, it's like this show sucks,
Yeah.
you know? And it's very clear when that happens. And you're even like, whatever. They did a show at like our Glammies, like they put on like a quick scene.
Mhm.
And I think I vividly remember in that show, there was like a lead or two that were like good, maybe good. And then the ensemble just like kind of fell apart. Like they weren't fully in it. And when that happens, it's just like,
Yeah.
this is not it.
Mhm.
So I think that just goes to show of like it's really important to have
Yeah.
a good ensemble. And like
Yeah.
featured roles, supporting roles, they're very important. Even
Mhm.
Radium Girls. Like Radium Girls, there's a ton of supporting and featured roles.
Yeah.
You don't have good actors there, your show falls apart.
Yeah. So that's like that's just something you have to keep remembering when you're if you're maybe going through this cycle of getting these small roles. That doesn't define you as an actor or singer or
Mm-mm.
dancer. That just that's just the role that you're playing in order to make this production great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you were put there for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to shine no matter what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pivot a bit.
Mhm.
Um, I'll introduce this by saying this is pretty funny to think about. Um, Last year we did a one act.
Mm.
Gabby was my director in this one act. It was like a was it original?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wrote it. Yes,
Mhm.
I forgot about that. She was my director, which was funny. I don't know why. No, like you were an amazing director. It's just weird because we're the same age. Is all. Um, and you're like my good friend, so it's weird. But she was an amazing director, and then now in Radium Girls in the most recent play, we were um fiance, fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiancés.
So I don't know, just funny. It was funny as well. But you were our director. Uh, Talk a little bit about the directing experience.
Mm.
Why did you want to direct in high school? Because it is, I'll say, it's common at our school, kind of. If you're in the like DE, the highest acting class, you have the opportunity to direct, but you don't have to. Why did you want to direct? Like, why? What was fruitful about that?
So I want okay. Well, first talk about why I wanted to. Oh wait. Hold on. So I wanted to direct because I wanted to direct it because I kind of wanted to see how it is like behind,
Mm,
like off stage, and see how it is to piece something together. And then also going into like writing it, I wanted to write it because I wanted something original to go off of. And also had so many
huh.
good ideas that were like going on in my head. And I wanted to see like my personal work shown.
Mm,
And that's why I really wanted to write one. And yeah, so like we kind of did have to direct, yes, but I also wanted to direct. Like if there was a choice, don't have to direct at all, I still would have jumped on the opportunity to direct because I also felt like I had gotten a lot of experience that I also wanted to share with other people who are still talented actors, still great talented actors, but I also wanted to continue working with these actors to also kind of share the knowledge that I have. That makes sense.
mm,
And I think a big thing was just wanting to see how it is behind like or off stage
yeah.
and piecing things together and that whole process.
Hmm. What did you see? Did you see anything as a director that you like didn't wouldn't have seen as just an actor? Like maybe more specifically, maybe because you didn't technically have to. The way that they casted that these shows was like a
It was like a draw.
yeah, it was like a draft sort of deal. Um, I guess, well, but then also, she, sorry, I forgot to say this. you are now also directing our one act, another,
Competition, one
yeah,
act.
a competition one act that we're doing. So you're my director again. That's
Mm.
I just kind of remembered that. That's interesting. I don't know why I said interesting. That makes you sound bad. No, you're a great director. Um, what am I saying? But you did have to cast that one.
Oh.
Talk about the casting. Like, have you seen anything casting a show like as a director that you hadn't seen as an auditionee or like a actor?
For which show? Exit or
Either, just in general.
okay. I guess, well, casting a show for my first one act, it was kind of just the knowledge of knowing the actors because we didn't have auditions, and I also knew who I wanted and
What?
who I knew
But
would
like, why did you want them?
um, well, they were you guys were kind of in my head while I was writing it. Which not a
Okay.
really good thing, but I also knew that you guys would be actors that would be able to kind of, like, be flexible and work with whatever I was saying
Mhm.
and would be willing to put in the work, and I also knew that, like, it was a love story, so I knew that you and Nina, who was my, lead, would have good chemistry. Like, I knew it wouldn't be awkward. Um, and so I kind of I just knew their acting abilities, and I knew that it was something that I could really work with,
Mm,
and they would be really flexible and be able to kind of, like, really work with what I was saying.
mm.
And
Okay.
I guess for Exit, we had
That's the
auditions.
current.
That's yeah, that's the
Yeah.
current one. For Exit, um, we held auditions for that one. And I guess seeing from, like, I guess behind the table, I was just able to see chemistry a lot more,
Mm,
because it wasn't a big audition. I had, like, narrowed it down to only, like, upperclassmen. So, I was, like, piecing people together and seeing the chemistry on how they worked with each other, and it wasn't much different from seeing it like an auditionee, um, but yeah, chemistry was a big thing. I was able to see
mm.
chemistry and, I guess just how different people would approach, like, a role, which you still see that if you're not the director, but
Right.
yeah. I guess from a director, I was also focusing more on, like, kind of I had an idea of kind of what I wanted, so I was focusing more on that and seeing who would be able to kind of, like, fit that.
So, okay, I think that's something that people always or actors always wonder is does an actor's type or their typecast or like their natural personality, how much did that go into what you saw from them in the actual audition room and then like your casting? Because I'll say, like for myself, um, I'm cast obviously I'm in this show with Gabby. Well, no, you're my director, is what I'm saying. Um, and my role is very different than any other role I've ever done. You know,
Mhm,
not to say that I won't be able to do it. It's just like not in my typecast. Now, every other role that I've gotten is in the typecast.
mhm.
You know, how did that go into it?
Guess your type for you, your typecast didn't go into it, like, really at all because there's none of your typecast in this show.
True.
His Nico's typecast is, like, romantic roles. Um, and so in our one act, there's really none of that. But I think even if there wasn't, I know that you're able to get out of that
Yeah.
and, like, you have strength in other areas. And so that's also why, like, for Exit, you didn't really struggle, like, kind of leaving that typecast. And so I guess a typecast, it goes into it kind of because you know that people are strong in certain areas, so you kind of gravitate towards that. But I would say it's not something that you should stay set on because people can really surprise you.
Do you think? Do you think that actors should? see what their typecast is, maybe through like, trial and error, like what roles they're getting. See what their typecast is and then focus on it or not.
I feel like if you know what your typecast is, then you know that that is your strong point. So it is something that you can focus on, but I wouldn't say have that be the only thing that
Mm.
you ever want to do because a good actor is well rounded and very versatile. And so you have to be able to be strong in many different areas in order to kind of in order to be used a lot in a big pool, if that makes
Mm.
sense. You
Yeah, that's
know?
fair.
Um so
Yeah.
I'd say if you know what your typecast is, certain roles you can lean into that. If that's like something that you're going for, like whatever the show is, you can lean into it. But I wouldn't say to have that be the only thing you go for because
How important do you think it is for people then to try to get roles that break out of their typecast?
I think it's important. I think it's very important because you need experience and you need
Mm.
to learn a lot of other skills that you may not learn in one typecast. Because if you have skills in many different areas of like, or many different typecasts, then that'll also make you a better actor because then you'll know how to work with someone who has that. You'll be able to work with someone alongside someone who is being that type of character.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense,
No, for
you
sure.
know? So I think
Hmm.
it's very important to have knowledge of everything.
Hmm. Okay. What give me like for the young actors out there, what do you think is like the biggest mistake that you've seen in them? In people at our school or just like what you've seen, it could be at UNCSA too, of course. Like what do you think is the most common mistake that you're seeing in actors that like, as a casting director or as a fellow actor, you're like, okay, that isn't great. Let's fix that. Or that's not great. I don't know if I want to cast you. Like, what do you think is the biggest thing that you're, especially as a young actor?
I'd say, and I'd say like, obviously I'm also a young actor, so I'm definitely
Sure,
probably a victim
sure.
of this. I'd say playing an emotion and overacting is a big thing.
Mm,
And I've definitely played emotion, like, because it's like it's very tempting, and kind of what I mean by that is, say like your character is sad, then you play sad, but you're not supposed to play sad. You're supposed to like find out why they're sad, and then
mhm.
channel that.
Yeah.
So I think it's very difficult, um, because like it's easy to fall into and be like, okay, they're sad, so they're probably like crying or something, um, or like I don't know, they're down. Well, why?
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest that's the biggest habit for a lot of young actors. And like I said, I definitely fall into that too. Um, and I'd also say like overacting, like acting isn't about doing so much, it's about why are you doing so much.
Hmm.
A big thing is why.
Yeah.
Like that's a big question that you have to ask.
Yeah. I agree with that. And also, like, who am I?
Hmm.
Because it's very easy for an actor, especially a young actor, to be like, okay, I am Grace Fryer. Like, okay, I'm Grace. I'm gonna portray this character. But then it takes like you got to go from that to like I'm Grace Fryer. I'm actually Grace Fryer. How is Grace thinking? Why am I?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who am I?
Hmm.
You know. Um. Do you think? What about like vice versa or the flip side? There's overacting, underacting. What about underacting?
Oh.
The reason I say that is because I've seen a lot of people. I don't know about a lot of people. Not whatever. People who don't are almost like afraid of going 100%.
Oh yeah.
or like afraid of like being wild. You know, especially like in a musical. I think
Hmm.
it's really easy to see in a
Yeah,
musical
yeah.
of like people holding back sort of thing.
I think a big thing about that is like if you're scared to be vulnerable and scared to like actually go out, it's all about being in a space that allows you to be vulnerable and that you're comfortable in and taking risks. Um and so that's why I feel like whatever the community is that you're in is very important
Yeah.
when you're putting on a show or even just learning because you can't be afraid to take risks and you need to be outward. So yeah, I'd say
Hmm.
underacting is comes a lot from being scared of taking those risks, and that's what people probably think. Like I did in my freshman year when I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. That's embarrassing, or that's this. You can't be thinking that because acting is embarrassing. That's something that's like it's a given. It's embarrassing. You're like playing pretend. So you have to just get over that fear of, oh, it's embarrassing. You know it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But if you're seriously passionate about it, that doesn't matter. You're you're actually doing what you're passionate about and being outward is the best thing that you can be, you know?
And it's embarrassing until it's the most impressive thing you've ever seen.
Exactly.
Like it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing in an audition room or a rehearsal room when like you're the
Mhm.
only one going 100% or 200%. But like when you're in the audience and you're watching someone go 200% and it's on stage, then you're like, shoot,
Yeah.
like that's what hits you.
Mhm.
And it hits you just as much in the worst way possible when people don't go 200%
Mhm.
and they just go like 50%. It's
Yeah.
like, ugh, I'm bored. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Tell me a little bit about your plan and like what you would recommend maybe other people do as well. But more like what's your plan for, now college host? Do you have a plan?
Mm. So, my plan is obviously to go to college. Um, because I need to, like, figure out how to actually get out there. Because I know there's a ton of actors who haven't gone to college, and it's worked for them, but I don't know how to do that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, my plan is definitely go to college and get as much experience as I can and get as many connections as I can, because that's the biggest thing in this, field. That's the biggest thing in, like, any field, but this field especially, so many connections.
Yeah.
Um, and then post, my goal is to right away hopefully have a job in whatever it is. If it's stage, if it's film, I'll be wherever it takes me. I don't know where it's gonna take me. It could take me to New York, Florida, Georgia, California,
Yeah.
could be back in Virginia. I don't know. Wherever it takes me, it'll take me.
You see? Yeah.
Um, but I wanna be just doing this,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? Um, the ultimate goal is to be on film, and I don't know how long after high school how long after college that's gonna take, but that's the ultimate goal,
Hmm.
is to be on film, but I can't even say what post is gonna be because I don't know where I'm gonna
Yeah.
be.
No, for sure. I think that's the
Mhm,
same thing with like any young actor.
mhm,
I think that's like the biggest thing for like any young actor is like, okay, I
mhm,
know I want to go to college, but or I think I want to go to college, and then I'm pretty sure I want to go do theater after or film after. How am I gonna do that? I don't know. We'll see where the wind takes me, sort of. We may have already talked about it. Actually, no, no, no. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust the
mhm.
question. Okay, what will or what in your mind would your "I made it" moment be?
Mm,
Of like once you're going career, like it's going. What do you envision your moment to be of like, okay, I made it. I'm here. You know what I mean? Do you have one?
I'd say working in a studio, working, like, in a film studio on a big project. That would probably be my I made a moment. Like, working in a studio that's something that's like actually real, like a real
Hmm.
um like I don't know, like Warner Brothers,
Big production.
Netflix,
Yeah, big production.
a big production, whether it's a TV show, movie, I don't know. Working in a studio at that level would definitely be my I made a moment.
One thing you didn't say, I wonder if you care. Do you care? Does that mean being an extra, or does that mean being a lead? Or does it not matter?
I feel like hmm, I feel like it would kind of be like my semi I made a moment would be
Mhm.
being like an extra because
Yeah,
that's even a big thing.
no, for sure.
Um, but then my big one would be being either a lead or supporting or even a featured character in like a show or movie
No,
of
for
a
sure.
big production.
Yeah, yeah. Do you see yourself directing in the future?
I would like to. I would definitely like to. I don't see that being my full time,
For sure.
but definitely once I get more in this industry, I would definitely want to direct. I know my brother and I were talking about how we'd want to maybe make movies together
Mm.
and maybe one of us would be behind the camera, maybe both of us behind or in front. I don't know. Um, so yeah, definitely I want to do a lot. I want to do a lot in this industry. I want to act, of course. I want to hopefully direct. And so with that would maybe even come writing. Depending on where it takes me. I don't even know. But like I just know
Yeah,
that I want to do as much as I can.
yeah. You want to be, well, I say you want to be, but this is more of like me and question of if you want to be like a household name sort of deal, or of like a, like you hear, like someone says your name, they either recognize you or they're like, wait, what? Where I saw him? I
Mm,
know that name. Where
yeah.
have I heard him? What has he done? He's done. Oh, he did that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's something that at least I personally aspire to.
Yeah. Like a legacy. Like I said
Yeah,
earlier,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I want to that's why I said I want to be primarily film actor because I want to have that legacy. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
household name is a goal. It's like it's not what I set everything on. If I don't become a household name, yeah, it would like kind of suck. But if I have all these achievements that I'm proud of, then that's like
For sure.
that's still gonna make me happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the ultimate goal is not to be famous and rich with all this money. Is to have so many accomplishments that I'm proud of. And if that gets me to be a household name or like this big time actor, that's something I'd be crazy grateful for. But it's just for me to have all these accomplishments that I'm proud of.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds great.
Hmm.
Wait. Okay. Now we're gonna do a lightning round.
Okay.
Um, quick fire, no thinking, just blurt. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put a timer up on the screen. I don't know how long the timer is gonna be there, so it
That's not
doesn't really.
helpful.
Yeah, it's not really. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Favorite role ever played.
Grace.
Least favorite acting note you've ever gotten.
Turn out.
What's harder, memorizing lines or staying confident?
Staying confident.
Directing or acting, which stresses you out more?
Um. Directing.
Dream celebrity to act with.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Mm. A movie you could watch every day.
I did.
Huh. Your well, okay. Your worst audition moment in 3 words.
um. Uh. Uh. Um. Weak.
Okay.
Boring.
Uh,
Bad.
okay. Your most iconic audition moment.
Confident. 3 words.
Just like whatever.
What do you mean?
Just go.
Uh, my my audition for Radium Girls.
Cool. Do you have a pre-audition ritual?
Stretch.
This is true. I've seen this. If acting disappeared tomorrow, what would you do instead?
Right.
Good. Wow.
Mm.
Amazing answers. No, that was good though. That was good. Okay, so this is what we do on the Nico Flo Show. As you may have seen, what is one virtue that you want people to pray that you obtain more of?
Patience.
Oh, good one.
Mm.
I will say. Sorry, I really don't know what virtue I'm going to say. Actually, um, patience is good. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna say
Mm.
peace. I'm gonna say
Okay.
peace. Peace is a good one. Pray for patience. Pray for
Mm-hmm.
peace. If you like this episode, please go check out the episode that I did with Kate Doyle. We got one coming out with Olivia Unverzat soon. Gabby,
Mm.
thank you so much for joining me on the
Thank you,
show.
Nico.
Have a great one,
Great
guys.
host.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I'm gonna give a little applause for that. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace out. Bye bye.